Welcome back, everybody, to the Life Midwest podcast. This is episode 14. We have to learn a new number every week because both of us struggle to count that high. My name's Kevin, and my host Wes is with me here today on this fine, chilly afternoon.
Hello.
How we doing, bud?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
It was warm again this week.
This week, but not today. Today.
Or yesterday. Yesterday was rough.
Yeah, the streak is finally over. The streak of recording on the warmest day of the week is finally over.
That is true.
It's also because our recording routine has slightly changed this week, but we'll be talking about that in a little bit here. As to just some current events kind of going on. Some current events going on here. So
going on while we're going along.
Keeping on while we're keeping on.
Keeping up while we're keeping on.
I got nothing. Wes, what do we got on repeat this week? Let's start there.
All right, you're never gonna believe this crap. It's not hip hop this week. The band is called Ghost. They used to go by Ghost BCE, but then they dropped the BCE for whatever reason. But their name's Ghost. They have just an absolute wonderful discography. They have like 2 or 3 full albums and then a couple singles. And it mimics old rock, but also has many hallmarks of like new metal. It's just really solid and feels good to listen to. It's nostalgic in a sense, but also new enough to not be hokey or just like outdone or overplayed.
What does BCE stand for?
It could be before Common Era. Like it was BC, right? So before Christ. And then BCE, before Common Era. But I don't actually know if that's why their name was Ghost BCE. I've just seen formerly known as Ghost BCE in like subtitles or on like YouTube videos or on.
Can we do the absolute Life in the Midwest thing where we like Google something in the middle of the show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because I'm just curious. I just want to see. It's Ghost BC. I think. Is it a Swedish? No, here it is, yeah.
The unholy sounds will echo again. I saw these guys at the Huntington Center in 2019.
Wow.
They're really theatric, really fun.
Huh.
Usually at concerts, I'll just kind of stand in the back with my arm crossed, like, yeah, okay, this is good music. But like I was really getting into it.
That's awesome. Let's see. Are they Swedish? Is this them, the Swedish band?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, maybe it's just BC. Maybe I was throwing on BCE because I interpreted BC as before Christ and then before Common Era.
Ghost, also formerly known as Ghost BC in the United States. This is wikipedia.org. Swedish rock band. Was formed in, looks like an IKEA piece of furniture in 2006. Okay. Doesn't really say much about the name.
Anyways, check out Ghost. They're if you're into like metal or rock, or they have aspects of classic rock, but they're very modern. It's just super good.
What do you got for a song?
The whole discography is absolute fire. Go with Rats or oh god, there's Cersei, and there's something about a hammer. It's a really good song, and I don't want. There's Mariana Cross is one of their newest singles. It's kind of got a more of a old rock vibe.
When you say old rock, are we talking like Eric Clapton? Or are we talking like AC/DC?
Maybe a mixture of both.
Okay.
They have I've seen on YouTube where they talk with like members of Metallica and members of like the Foo Fighters, like Dave Grohl and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
like they're in the music community.
I'm a huge Dave Grohl fan, so that makes me want to check it out all the more.
There's like and I'm just speaking from memory. I know memory decay is a real thing, but there's a YouTube video I watched where like they're just dressed up in full attire, like satanic Catholic church attire, and they're walking down like Hollywood or in Hollywood. and they're just meeting up with like different musicians that are famous in rock. I don't actually know what that's from, but I remember it, and I'm sure it's a real thing. I remember.
So they're like Kiss, but they're actually intimidating.
Oh, I don't think they're intimidating. They're fun. Like the Satanic Catholic Church.
No, I mean the attire that you speak of.
Oh, yeah, I suppose a bit. It's more like watching a medieval movie.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like take Kiss and mix them with Alice Cooper, and you kind of got.
See, I like Alice Cooper, but I don't like Kiss, so this will be interesting.
Well, the music style is nothing. I guess they're more close to Alice Cooper because they focus in the macabre and the taboo, and dark.
Cool.
The only thing that would be like Kiss is their style.
Gotcha. Cool. So if you're looking for something new to check out this week, Ghost and you said Rat or Rats? Okay.
Cersei. Let me look up the name of the album real quick. Let's do this Midwest thing
where we're looking something up in the middle of an episode again.
So Square Hammer was the one I mentioned previously. That one's really good. Dance Macabre is really good. Mariana Cross is good, but their whole discography is just beautiful. I love it.
Gotcha. That's pretty sweet. Wes, I'm gonna be honest with you. What I've been listening to a lot of this week is ASMR. Are you familiar with that?
Ass-sucking mouth regimen?
No.
Yeah, I think I'm familiar with it a bit.
You ever been on the phone with somebody and they're kind of yakking, like they're taking their time to explain something, and you kind of just don't want their sentence to end because there's just something soothing about their voice? That's a form of ASMR.
Okay, so you're just getting a little bit of enjoyment from sounds?
Exactly. And there's different triggers, things like that. So things that cause it to happen are referred to as triggers for that. There's a lot of people on YouTube, actually, who strictly do this. Did you know that?
I may have. Are we talking about, like, attractive women who whisper into their microphones?
I mean, I mean, both genders do it, so.
Well, of course. Do you listen to the dudes?
No.
So do both genders really do it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they do.
I guess, yeah. Not that we have any subscriber or listeners that are female, because.
I mean, I understand where you're going with that, because it can be a very intimate thing or seem or feel like an intimate thing, especially if that's the setting or what's being portrayed. But other times it's just people just making sounds with objects.
Have you seen like the ear microphones?
Yes.
Those are so creepy.
Well, I mean, they're meant to pick up sounds that it wouldn't normally pick up in a way that it normally wouldn't pick them up.
I'm probably just traumatized because I like stumble onto the wrong parts of the internet. And you'll just have like e-girls nibbling on the ear ASMR microphone machines, whatever they are.
Yes. Like all things, Wes, there is a sexual version of everything on the internet.
Is it Rule 34? If you can think of it, there's porn for it?
I'm just going to go ahead and blindly agree and hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass.
Wait, so you're telling me you don't want to play the devil's advocate on Rule 34?
It's just territory I'm not willing to go into.
Go on, try it.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I'm okay. I'm good. Can we get the hell out of this segment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
Wait. So what about ASMR? You've just been listening to it all week?
Yeah, it's just with there's a lot going on in life right now that I'll talk about later in the episode, but it's very, very calming, and for all of my mental ailments, it's very soothing. Kind of helps combat a lot of those things. Makes me feel like everything's gonna be all right,
And there's a lot of ways you can take the direction of ASMR, but if you're getting benefits from it, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I really am.
Well, awesome. I suppose we can move past this. I do want to make more porn jokes, but
Wes is going to start his own side project where all he does is he's like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but a podcast version. He just makes innuendos for half an hour.
Is that why I like Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I don't know. Fun fact, if you go and look at their music.
Yeah, it's all... Oh, not all of it, but like some of it.
I mean, it's either in your face about it or it's metaphors or it's innuendos.
I mean, Under the Bridge is pretty explicit.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't know what Under the Bridge is about, I'm really not willing to be the person to burst your bubble.
With a needle, perhaps?
Well, Les, moving the hell out of this segment and getting into a bit more of a serious one. Rather than talking about That's Life in the Midwest this week, by the time this episode airs, this is going to be a few weeks old news. But I think we can use that to our advantage because we'll be talking about something that I'm going to assume pretty much everyone's heard about. And that is the recent occurrences in Atlanta.
And not just Atlanta only. I mean, that's the big main event that happened. It seems there's just been a trend in Asian hate in our country. I mean, I understand what the cause of that is. Supposedly, we have a cult of personality, strongman, former president, encouraging people to just be hateful towards people from China. And then that spills over to other Asians because there's no nuance there. Just all Asians are the same, apparently. I feel like this is especially difficult for me because I'm working on getting my girlfriend Yui to come over to the United States. And the United States has a really bad image right now when it comes to how Asian Americans are being treated. I saw on the news not too long ago, one of my professors at UT was actually on the news talking about the increase in hate crimes toward Asian Americans. And then just this week, there was a shooting at, nail salons or something?
Massage.
Oh, massage parlors.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just don't know, why do we have to hate each other? I mean, the big question, right? The crux of social problems. Why do we hate? But yeah.
Let me be the devil's advocate here. If you're like, oh, those people have to pay because of XYZ. I mean, we as America have a bit of a not so great history with how we treat Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders descents. And that dates back to, I'm sure, farther than. But as far as, my education, that dates back to World War II, Hiroshima, Pearl Harbor. Then you have the Vietnam War, the Korean War. You have obviously the pandemics of COVID-19, SARS, swine flu. I mean, it's just you taking that anger out that you believe to be justified targeted at this person of Asian or Pacific Islander descent isn't going to fix anything. Even if you feel that way, which it's wrong to feel that way, just so you know. Even if you feel that way, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to make this pandemic go away. Or the fact that it happened.
And I think I know how this kind of stuff happens. It's the same as the Christchurch shooting, the same as the Southern Baptist Church shooting. It's the same as the nightclub Pulse or whatever shooting. It's people seething in their beliefs on the internet, in their echo chambers, not getting any help for their thoughts that are insidious and damaging. And their life circumstances might be hard at the moment, and then they take all their frustration out on their biggest perceived enemy, I suppose, right?
Right.
I've seen this happen in real time on 4chan back in the day. Kids would say, go kill yourself, and kids would kill themselves. And then kids would get together and with no real context, no real nuance, basically circle jerk each other to hate a group of people. And then we had target homosexuals and kill them, target black people and kill them. And it's ridiculous, first of all, but is there a solution to that?
The only thing that I could recommend is that if you feel that it's appropriate or necessary to harm someone, you need to talk to a professional. And that's not saying that you're crazy. That's not saying that you need help. Okay? Because I'm not crazy. Maybe I need a little bit of help, but I'm not crazy. And I'm sitting here and telling you that sometimes you need a professional to go and talk things out with. Just if it's any consolation, if you're having these thoughts, talk them out with someone. That person is not going to sit there and throw you in a loony bin and tell you that you need to just not think that way. That person is going to help you process those thoughts in a healthy, non-hurtful way. Coming up, we're going to talk about what I've learned. Yes, me personally. We're going to do some review shout-outs. We got a good Massachusetts man for you this week. Stick around. Welcome back to the Life Midwest podcast, the only region in the country that took more than one syllable to describe the direction of where we are. Why? Because it's the middle of nowhere. I'm your host, Kevin, alongside my good old buddy, old pal, partner in crime, Wes here.
Howdy.
We're not really committing any crimes, just a podcast. Wes, I want to spend some time talking about what I've learned this week, if that's okay. Before we do that, just want to give a quick shout out here. If you're looking for ways to support us, we really appreciate any emails, tweets, DMs, whatever. You can email us at support@thelifemidwest.com. We're also available on all major social platforms at The Life Midwest, all one word, no underscores, no hyphens, nothing. Man, we got lucky with that, didn't we? Yeah, super lucky. Leave us a review on iTunes, on podcast there, on the podcast app. We got 4 5-star reviews.
Still?
Yep.
Surprised we didn't lose any.
And we didn't gain any either, but hey, that's okay. Also want to take this opportunity to shout out our patron Durpadu at the $5 level. Bought us some tacos. That's the $5 tier, is buy us tacos. Moving on though, talking about what I learned this week, Wes. It turns out that. And feel free to chime in if you're in other parts of the country, other parts of the world. Nobody gives a shit you're moving.
Seems a lot like a you problem.
See, exactly. I'm moving. That sounds like a you problem. So there have been some recent events in life that have led to where Ashley and I are at the point now where we're moving out from where we currently are at. And we found a nice place, and there's just a lot of variables up in the air as far as, when do we get there? When do we move? When do we sign? All of those fun things. So, and then there's the whole adventure of IKEA, and you go there and they don't have everything that you want, but they have pieces of what you want. So you take those pieces. That's probably the least of my problems. The point is that you tell people you're moving, and I don't know. It's more. I feel like most conversations I've had when I've told people that it's kind of just like good luck with that.
Right, sucks to suck, bro. Have fun.
You know what's interesting, though, is like being in the Midwest, I feel like I've seen more pickup trucks here in the Midwest than I have anywhere else in the country. So you think people here would be moving experts, and they're not. I mean, either they are and they just don't tell me or what. I'm not sure.
You got to look for the box truck drivers, the U-Hauls.
See, I'm trying to save money, though. I don't want to do the U-Haul thing. It's not like I have a ton of stuff to move. I really don't.
I suppose. You think a pickup truck, though?
I mean, yeah, it'll take a few trips, but There's nothing I have that won't fit in a pickup truck. Name one thing. He's like he's all shifty eyes. He's looking around the room for shit.
What about that thing?
No.
That thing?
No.
What about that thing?
No.
Okay.
You done?
All right, that thing.
This?
Yeah.
The microphone?
No, the thing it's attached to.
The stand?
No.
The desk?
Yeah.
You're getting the desk.
Right, but will that fit in a pickup truck?
Yeah. It's going to fit on Ashley's Highlander.
Oh. It just looks so big.
That's what she said. Turns out we're done with this segment. Moving on, we have a good Massachusetts man for you this week before we start our shout-outs and bow out for the week. So the whole reason we do Massachusetts man here at the Life Midwest is because a few episodes ago, we looked into the different, success levels of states throughout the country, right?
Yeah.
So I like how you nodded. That was cute. So most other places that do like news stories, like whether it's a podcast, radio, talk show, whatever, they always do something about a Florida man. Why? Because it's Florida, and people in Florida are crazy for the most part. We chose Massachusetts because we wanted to poke fun at a more successful state. And I'm telling you, just with this week's story, it's just it's really an homage to the state is that successful to where this is a national news story.
Wait, this is national news?
It was in the Boston Globe.
Oh. I guess I don't know enough about Boston to know. Is that like the Toledo Blade?
I mean, to me, if it's in a major newspaper like the New York Times, Boston Globe, to me that's national news to me.
All right.
That might not be the correct term, but we're gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna provide some backstory here. There's a market in Boston called Market Basket. Okay. The title of this, a Massachusetts man thinks Market Basket's coffee is grounds for a lawsuit. You think they put grounds in there as a
100%
play on words?
Absolutely.
The lawsuit says the Tewksbury-based grocery chain's coffee labels were designed to deceive, mislead, and defraud customers. We'll see about that. This is from Boston.com, was published in the Boston Globe back on February 4th. Nearly 80 cups of coffee for less than $3. Market Basket's 11.5-ounce house brand coffee cans seemed like a deal too good to be true. According to a Massachusetts man's lawsuit, that's because it was. Two of Market Basket's misleading coffee cans, misleading is in quotes, included less than half the number of rounded tablespoons that had been advertised on their packages. Alleges a proposed class action lawsuit filed Tuesday in federal court on behalf of Weymouth resident David Cohen. According to the suit, Cohen produced the Tewksbury-based grocery store's 11.5-ounce house blend and 11.5-ounce house blend decaf coffee cans under the, quote, reasonable belief, end quote, that they contained 79 and 76 servings, respectively, as indicated by small labels near the bottom of it. And there's a picture of the cans here. Wes, I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
So it clearly says that it makes 79 cups.
It does say that.
And the decaf one supposedly says 76, although it's not pictured. However, according to the lawsuit, quote-unquote expert third-party testing revealed the actual numbers of servings in the house blend and house blend decaf were 39 and 37, respectively, as opposed to 79 and 76. Meaning that they contained 40 and 39 servings less than advertised. In each case, the lawsuit says customers were being, quote, cheated out of the 51% of the servings they paid for, end quote. The suit says Cohen would not have bought the coffee cans, priced at $2.65, $2.99 for the decaf, or would have looked for a lower price if he had, quote, known the truth. The complaint adds that there are likely, quote, tens of thousands of other Market Basket customers who are similarly aggrieved.
I don't believe that.
Tens of thousands.
That dude was the first person to actually look at that and be like, I'm enraged.
I just want to know how he figured it out.
He did self-serving math, probably. So, like, if you make one pot of coffee, you can take a single scoop and have, like, weak coffee. And then you get, I don't know, a full cup is like, what, 12 cups of, or a full, like, pot of coffee is like 12 cups of coffee?
I mean, I guess that's what the argument in court is going to be based upon is
like, how do you define a proper cup of coffee? It's subjective. Some people like their coffee looking like piss. Other people like their coffee looking like tar.
And I think that's why it's a dangerous thing to give an exact number like 79 servings. I understand why they did it. They probably did it because it's like, oh, if we do a weird specific number like 79, it's going to seem legit and scientific. And there's no way some asshole in Massachusetts is going to count how many servings we get out of this. Is he an asshole, though? I don't even know. It's funny because it's like, it's a 51% difference, but the guy had time and was aggravated enough to want to split the hairs in court.
For a $2.65 can of coffee, which is cheap, right? Like, I don't know. There's a subreddit called Am I the Asshole? And if sometimes the person who writes the post is the asshole, but the other person's also an asshole, the answer is everyone sucks here. I think everyone sucks here because marketing is always deceitful, and this dude's just like splitting hairs here, because like I bet they measured that. I bet there's exactly 79 of those scoops in there, but he probably does like 2 scoops because he likes his coffee blacker or stronger, darker.
You know, I gotta give credit to the guy. Because he's not doing a law, like it's a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, so he's making like no money off of it.
So it's almost like he's trying to be a hero. Because if he just did like an actual like a civil suit, then you're just a dick. I think for something I don't know.
He wouldn't have won if it was just him versus this chain of.
So maybe that's why he did the class action lawsuit. Maybe his lawyer was like, all right, listen, Cohen, listen. You're not going to win this case unless you try to make it about the people. And in order to make it about the people, you got to talk about how tens of thousands are similarly aggravated.
Market Basket says it's the lawsuit as opposed to their coffee that lacks grounds.
Oh, man.
However, they do acknowledge changing the label.
To what? 78?
I don't know.
The company said in a statement, the label referenced in the lawsuit is no longer in our stores. We believe the lawsuit has no merit, end quote. A spokesperson for Market Basket declined to say when they stopped using the labels, which means it was probably after, I don't know. The lawsuit comes after similar cases were brought against retailers over allegedly misleading coffee labels. A recent case against the private manufacturer of coffee labels for Walmart and other big chains resulted in a settlement of up to $20 million. So these tens of thousands of people got a free cup of coffee. Similar lawsuits had been brought over the past year against Folgers, Maxwell House, and Kroger. God, so this guy probably read a couple stories and was like, you know what? I think I can do something. Get everyone a free cup of freaking coffee. Talk about tens of that. You know what? When I hear the whole tens of thousands of people, I'm just, over coffee. 10,000 fists in the air over fucking coffee. I'm going to give a shout out to this guy. If I met him, I don't know if I'd like him because he seems like it's a super technical person, and I don't think I like that.
Just like split hairs on everything you say to him. He's probably super pedantic. Just like, well, actually.
Yeah. He's that fucking neckbeard at parties who he lives for Shark Week and all that shit.
You should pull up a picture of this dude just so we can know.
I'm not saying it. I'm just going to assume he's just some neckbeard. Like, well, actually. And that's probably what he sounds like, too.
He's going to sue us for defamation. He's going to somehow stumble across our little podunk podcast and be like...
See, I'm not defaming. There's no defaming here going on, though.
Probably looks like a neckbeard.
Well...
Right. I mean, like, there's no grounds for this lawsuit, says the news title. Do you think there would be grounds against ours?
I don't know. Let's drink coffee just to be safe.
Got it.
Got it. Wes, I want to give a shout out to coffee, both coffee and decaf coffee. I want to give a shout out to David Cohen. I don't know if I'm rooting for you on your case or not, but I'll give you a shout out just because I don't know how to feel about you. I want to give a shout out to our first patron. I know it's been a few weeks, but if you're first, you're still first. So, Durpadu, appreciate you, man. Durpadu actually had, well, I mean, he personally didn't birth, but his daughter was born, and happy, healthy baby. I follow his wife on Twitter, and she's so witty on social media. It's hilarious. She said decided to fuck around and birth a human being today. No big deal. So shout out to her. She's legit. Moms are superheroes, and Durpadu's wife is absolutely one of them. So, Wes, you got any shout outs this week, buddy?
Yeah. Shout out to people who aren't absolutely slobbering dinguses and don't commit hate crimes. That's a good one. That's most of us, by the way, thankfully. Shout out to Ghost, formerly known as Ghost BC, for having dope music. Shout out to Massachusetts for providing us with a whole bunch of men to talk about.
That just sounds...
It's a raining men.
Okay.
From Massachusetts. All right. Shout out to coffee because I drink it. Not with the grounds, though. I like coffee with no grounds for soup.
I'll make sure to keep that in mind and inform the media.
Coffee is just bean juice. You ever sip on that hot bean juice?
You know, I think this is a great time to end the show.
Bean juice.
All right, everybody, reach out to us at support@thelifemidwest.com. Hit us on our socials at The Life Midwest. We got to get out of here. We will see you next week. Take care.
Deuces.